twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Saints fans, Please direct your attention to the screen as your Shiloh Saints make their traditional walk to the field.
Feel it coming in the air, hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem? Tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I said it be this is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance. Bitch, I'm a team song. All black everything. Black cards, all black everything. Running with me. I can't hold a tap if you boys really ripping up. This is not familiar. I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple ways down and I'm trying to get back. I gave Nelly criminals a flip for 5 stacks. Kill to the 5, I'm a 6, 7 shots. Sit up. Back to running circles round. Now straight up. Oh my goodness! Taking it home. What a play! Play back, play circle. Count down back. Wow! Bring away from this moment right here. All things fall. Oh no, look today. It's all you got. Get it for this city. Get it for each other. Yeah. Touchdown. Yeah, I said it be you can call me Caesar. In a dark season. Just follow that lead. So everything be microphone feed is the return of the
Feel it coming in the air, hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Victory's within the mile. Almost there, I still go down. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight. It's a
Your captains for tonight, for the Saints, number 42, Carter Henley. Number 64, Sid Scott. Number 28, Braxton Kirby. And number 5, Dalton Carnes.
all black everything. And I girls up. Running with me. It's now we straight up.
The captains for the Pointers, number 50, Ethan Hurst. Number 63, Bryson Roeder. Number 32, Cameron Keller. And number 0, Trenton Cooley. Your officiating crew for tonight, referee Steve Schrum, umpire Stan Sintz, head linesman Chris Little, line judge Dennis Marshall, and back judge Dodie Nielsen.
only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Springdale, Arkansas, and Champion Stadium, home of the Shiloh Christian Saints. Van Buren Pointers have traveled up the highway 45 minutes or so from Van Buren and are getting ready to play in their second round of playoffs. As they come onto the field, the lights in the stadium go off, and now they're back on. So Van Buren led out by the American flag. They'll come to the sideline and await the Shiloh Saints. This is Mark Hurst, and we are glad to have you along tonight for the next ball game in this season. Second round of playoffs. It's always a special time when you can make it to the playoffs, especially after getting a first round big win against the 3 seed from the East, the Marion Patriots. Joining me tonight in the booth, I am privileged to have my oldest son Jackson back with me. Jackson, welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you. And it's time for some playoff football.
Glad to be back tonight. You know, it's finally football weather. You got a low tonight, right around freezing. Couldn't be more happy to be here right now.
Definitely football weather. When you come up to Northwest Arkansas, seems like the wind always blows right through these stadiums, and that is indeed the case tonight. We are fortunate to be sitting up in a booth that's blocked from that wind. Several fans from Van Buren have made their way up the hill. A good showing from the Van Buren faithful tonight. Prior to 3 weeks ago, Van Buren and Shiloh had never met in football. And now, for the second time in 3 weeks, the Pointers and the Saints will do it again. The Saints come onto the field led by their cheerleaders, and they will head to their sideline. We've already had the coin toss. Van Buren won the toss tonight and deferred their option to the second half, which means the option that Shiloh has chosen will be to receive. And so Van Buren's kicking team is now on the field. Derek Kelly tees the ball up. Kicking team is ready. The receiving team is ready. Looks like number 18, Griffin Mason, is deep for Shiloh, as well as number 11, Chandler Kemp. Kelly puts the ball in the air, and one kickoff, one touchback. Derek Kelly with the big leg, giving no opportunity for the Saints to bring it out. Shiloh will set up first down from their own 20. The last time that Van Buren and Shiloh met 2 weeks ago, week 10, the Saints won that one 36-7. Van Buren looking to change things up here tonight in the second round of playoffs. Shiloh hustles to the line. Some kind of trick play coming, it looks like. Max Eldridge, the smaller of the backs for Shiloh, was hunkered down behind that line. And a little trick play there as Eldridge, the freshman, goes over that left side.
Looks like we got a flag down on the field.
White hat Steve Schrum. I missed what the call was, but it looks like it's going to go against the Saints.
Possible legal formation.
After the penalty, we'll replay first down, and there's a give over the left side to Mason. And Mason going to have a nice game.
pretty good pursuit of the football right there. We hit him kind of pretty close behind the line, and it was really just about finishing tackles at that point.
Number 9, Cole Creighton, keeps and picks up a first down over the left side.
Honestly, it was pretty good coverage by our D-backs right there. It's just quarterback realized there was nothing else and took it and ran.
First and 10 for the Saints. They give over the left side to Mason, and Mason is on his way to the end zone. Landon Evans gives chase, but he's not going to get there. That's a touchdown, Shiloh Christian.
Pretty, just not a very good pursuit of the football right there. Had a guy there to slow him up and just, I don't know, almost like he gave up.
The Saints line up in a swinging gate formation on this PAT. Van Buren ran some of this last week. They're going to run out of it, going to go for 2. And there's a backwards pass. That's a live ball. Now another pass. And that's intercepted and no good on the 2-point try. So a double pass on the 2-point conversion try, the backward pass to begin with, and then a legal forward pass. And that pass was intercepted. So something positive there for the defense after giving up a long touchdown run. Van Buren going to have to feed on those positive things tonight. Shiloh Christian's going to be a little bit different than the Marion Patriots last week. One thing we mentioned about the Patriots several times last week, that Van Buren was the more disciplined team. Shiloh will be anything but undisciplined.
Yeah, Mark, I think you're absolutely right. I think that we're going to have to ride these positive movements. And honestly, that ended as good as it could for us right there with the incomplete 2-point conversion. I just think we need to ride that momentum as long as we can.
Our buddy James Dunn just texted Jackson and said, you have big shoes to fill after your younger brother Hayden was in the booth last week doing the color. There's a kick, and it's going to be taken by number 2. That's Teray Wilford. Wilford brings it out past the 25. It looks like they're going to set up shop at the 28-yard line, 27-yard line. Van Buren's offense was effective last week. Big ball game from number 32, Cameron Keller. He had 197 yards and became the all-time leading rusher at Van Buren after that game. We'll see what Van Buren's offense gets going this week. Single receivers to each side with an H-back and Alex Welburn. Alex Welburn lined up at tight end next to Ethan Hurst. And we're going to have a delay of game, it looks like. Not one of the things that you can do against a very disciplined Shiloh team is give up 5 yards before we even run that first play.
Yeah, starting behind the sticks is just not a good way to start the game. Hopefully our offense can put together a couple good plays right here to, just to get a little bit of momentum going.
First down and 20 after 2 consecutive penalties. High snap handled by Williford. The give to Keller. And Keller going to pick up a couple. Going to bring up second down and 18.
I think Shiloh Christian kind of knew that we were going to run the ball right there. They brought the house right there. Everybody in the box that was there was coming.
Twins receivers to each side. Keller in the backfield. Wide open Austin Riggs, who's going to make a move and pick up a first down. He's still on his feet. That was a wide open receiver as Cameron Keller picked up the rushing outside linebacker. That left Austin Riggs wide open.
Honestly, a really good read by our quarterback right there. I mean, Shiloh once again brought a lot of people, and that was just a good job by our quarterback not to panic and go through his reads and progressions to find the open receiver.
1st and 10 for Van Buren, the give to Keller. Boy, big-time penetration there by number 42. Carter Henley was in the backfield and almost met Keller before he even got the handoff.
It's a good job by Keller right there to at least get back to the line of scrimmage. It's kind of hard to do that when you got somebody in your face right as you're getting the handoff.
Keller's going to have picked up a yard there. 2nd down and 9. Cooley and Riggs split to this near side with Johnson and Steele split to the far side. Pressure comes, but Riggs was open. Almost an interception by number 11, Chandler Kemp. And Riggs gets up slowly, holding his left arm and shoulder.
I think Riggs just kind of came down funny on that, kind of going up for the ball, trying to get there, and I think he just came down funny on it. We'll see how he's doing here in a few seconds.
That seemed to be the same play, a version of the same play that had the nice gain last time and read better by the secondary.
Looks like Shiloh's fixing to bring the house.
No linebackers in the linebacker position. They are all on the line of scrimmage this time. Now they'll shift back into a more of a coverage. That's going to be a completed pass. No, that was a completed pass. That was a completed pass. He actually held it in his legs. I believe that was Elijah Johnson.
Oh, incomplete pass. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I believe that was a completed pass. We had a great look at that. We just happened to be right straight on where that ended. And Elijah, the ball got out of his hands, but he caught it between his legs. The ball never hit the ground.
I mean, a couple good offensive plays right there after starting pretty far behind the chains. We just need our defense to go out there and stop them. You know, we just can't get up. We can't get too far behind in this game.
Number 90, Manning Dotson on to punt it away. He gets one off that heads toward the Shiloh Christian sideline. It's going to take a Van Buren bounce. That's going to be down at about the 17-yard line, 18-yard line. That's a great punt by Manning Dotson. First and 10 for the Saints. Kemp comes in motion. Creighton gonna throw. He's got a wide open receiver. That's number 3, Zane Sluter. That's gonna be a touchdown.
Looks like we're going to have a flag on the Shiloh Saints for celebrating. So, I mean, that doesn't really do much for us as far as the touchdown goes, but still something. Just kind of a busted coverage right there. One of our guys kind of bit hard on one of the inside guys and just left him wide open.
Plus, Creighton had a ton of time to throw that ball. He sat back in the pocket long enough that I couldn't tell if he had the ball or if he had given it to the running back, Mason. That's how long he was back there. So after Sluter scored, he was charged with the unsportsmanlike, and it looks like Van Buren has opted to take that penalty on this PAT try. On a play like that where the foul occurs after the touchdown, the Pointers have the option of taking that 15 yards on the PAT or the kickoff, and Van Buren has chosen the PAT. Creighton back to throw for the PAT, 2 points, and it's good. Shiloh Saints making it look easy. They are fresh after a bye from last week. They were the 2 seed out of the West. Got to sit home and watch Van Buren on TV and get everyone healthy, and they look healthy and ready to go in their first 2 drives. Eight minutes and 46 seconds left to play in this opening quarter. This live stream of Van Buren Pointer football is brought to you by Arkansas Tech University. ATU has scholarships that benefit you. Visit atu.edu/scholarships to learn more. Number 16, Blaine Pruitt, going to be deep for Van Buren. Trey Williford also deep on this near side. And Williford's going to watch this ball. Oh, he picks it up. Oh, it goes out of bounds. Boy, I couldn't see past the Van Buren bench if that ball had bounced out of bounds or if Williford had picked it up, but the flag shows that the kickoff goes out of bounds. So Van Buren has the option. Just kidding.
We correct that. Then apparently that we did touch the ball right before it went out of bounds. I was going to say that's probably a pretty heads-up play, but unfortunately we touched the ball and let it go out of bounds.
I couldn't really tell what that ball was going to do if Williford had let it go, if it would have gone out of bounds or if he needed to pick it up. But nonetheless, Van Buren's going to start this drive at the 20-yard line.
Going to go with the jumbo package right here.
Alex Welburn in at tight end on this left side with Silvers behind him, the H-back. Single receivers, Cooley and Riggs. Well, there's a quick one out to Cooley. Cooley going to pick up about 8 yards before he's driven out of bounds. And I'm going to tell you what, that was a tight window he threw that to.
Yeah, a little bit risky on the quarterback's end, but, I mean, it worked out. We're really close to getting a first down right here. I think we're about 3 yards short. Kind of got a bad angle at it right here.
2nd down and 3. Direct snap to Keller. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it worked. Picked up first down. That was a quick snap from Jacob Amingabar. I've just noticed this, but number 75, Jacob Amingabar, playing center tonight instead of Johnny Seoxenfu. I believe Seoxenfu, who was injured last week, injured again and unable to play tonight. The Saints shift their defense back 5 yards. High snap. Handled by Williford and given to Keller.
Gosh, that's kind of a hard
pick up a couple.
That's kind of a hard blitz to block right there. I mean, those guys line up 5 yards off the ball so that way they can get a full head of steam coming at you. That's just one of those things you got to read that as a quarterback or maybe call an audible. You got to get the ball out because you know those guys are coming. The middle of the field's going to be wide open.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago when we played them. Ethan said that the offensive line has to be very disciplined to maintain their assignments there. Austin Riggs is wide open, and a nice catch and a first down by number 10.
You know, we've said it all year long. Austin Riggs has kind of been that guy for us this year that's, you know, he's not going to break away like Trenton Cooley is, but he's going to find the open field, and he's going to make big plays for us when we need it.
Philip Steele and Elijah Johnson replace Big Alex Welburn and Nate Silvers. Jackson Silvers. Trips receivers to this near side. 1st and 10. Quick pass out to Cooley, but that ball's on the ground.
Just another one of those plays right there. They're bringing enough people, and you kind of, you have to do that. You have to get it out quicker. You're going to take a sack right there. So, thankfully, it was thrown in front of him and not going to be a fumble right there. But I think we got to somehow figure out a way to read this. The 6 or 8 man that they're bringing and try to find the open field.
Johnson, Riggs, Cooley, the trips receivers to this near side. Phillips Steele by himself on the Shiloh side. Cooley will go join him and now swing back around. There's a backwards pass to Cooley. Catches it on his back hip. He's got some room. Gonna pick up about 4. Close to 5.
It's going to be about 3rd and 5 right here. And I kind of like these plays that we're doing. Our coaches are seeing that they're bringing a lot of pressure right now. And these little swing passes right now are working. 5 yards right there, that's a heck of a play on a 2nd down.
Quad receivers to this near side. Cooley by himself.
Folks, I don't know if y'all saw it, but Cooley was sitting on the other side of the field with 1 man on him. And it just looked like that pass was kind of thrown into the middle of a lot of traffic.
Well, we had 4 receivers over here. Cameron Keller had lined up as a receiver as well. Kind of a bunch set, but defended well by the Saints. Fourth and 5. Van Buren looks to be going for it. A 5-yard penalty will get a 1st down. Williford, who's got Cooley, and that's a Van Buren 1st down.
Mark, right there is a really good example of how bringing that much pressure for Shiloh is going to hurt them. Both of those guys were open right down the field right there. You had 2 guys, you had 2 different options. It's a great play call.
Van Buren sustaining a drive here. Twins receivers both sides. Williford with the give to Keller. Number 42, Carter Henley, is bringing the pressure there. He's the middle linebacker. He's one of the leading tacklers for the Saints. He's got 56 tackles on the season prior to this game. And he's been in Van Buren's backfield tonight. 2nd down and 9. Keller going to bounce it outside. He's got room. Cameron Keller, touchdown Van Buren. Cameron Keller had a great block, and I believe that was number 45, Beck Bodson. Check me on that. I believe that was number 45, Beck Bodson. Nice pull block by him. He's one of the freshmen that's been playing this week, playing some tight end and some H-back. There's a low snap, scooped up by Austin Riggs, and saving the day right there. Manning Dodson with the PAT.
Mark, that was a really good offensive drive right there that we just had. We have made a lot of adjustments to their defense, which has been bringing a lot of pressure and giving us a lot of trouble in the backfield. That's a heck of a play to come back to.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit more about Beck Bodson and the block that he had on that. The neat thing to me is Coach Henry gave the option to a lot of the freshmen that played football. If they weren't going to basketball, he said, hey, you guys come practice with us. We want you to be a part of this. And a lot of them did. Some of them didn't. But Beck Bodson is one of those that has been at practice this week and has contributed and gets in the ball game tonight in a varsity playoff game as a freshman and has a key block on Cameron Keller's touchdown run. (14-7), 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Number 26, Derek Kelly. 6'3", 175 pounds. That's a good-looking kid out there. Kelly puts the ball in the air. It's going to be fielded by Mason. His feet get in the end zone, but the ball stays out, and so Mason's able to bring it out. Brian Ramos missed, and looks like number 3, I think that's Taylon Jones on the tackle there. Here we go. Is it Taylon or is it Teray? 2 or 3. Number 2, Teray Wilford. Well, we've done it all year long. It's so hard to see if it's number 2 or number 3, and those kids wearing the same color shoes, so sorry about that, Teray. Nice tackle. 1st and 10 for the Saints. They switch their receivers around. Creighton brings a man in motion, and he's going to give it to Mason. And Mason going to rumble for about 7 yards.
It's not a bad job by our defense right there. We just, hit him a little high, and clearly that's not going to work with that guy. He just drug us for a couple more yards, and now they've got 2nd and about 2.
Low snap. Mason with the give. Nice tackle by the Van Buren defense. That's number 56, Antoine Cooper in the backfield. He led that tackle, held on until Braden Dawes and a couple other guys got to him. 3rd down and 1. Creighton with the give to Mason. That's going to be a 1st down. Number 18, Griffin Mason. He's a junior, 5'10", 200 pounds. Before this game, he was right at the 1,400-yard mark for the season, 13 touchdowns. Receivers in motion for Shiloh. Creighton back to pass. He's got a receiver, number 3. Nice pressure there by Van Buren. Creighton going to sneak out, be close to a 1st down.
Mark, that just can't happen. You have people in the back. You have people in the backfield pursuing the football, and they're pushing them out to the sideline where you should have people coming. That's just one of the things that can't happen.
Jace Ponder given credit for that tackle as he pushes Creighton out of bounds. Eldridge in motion. That's who's going to get the ball on the pass. There's a hold by number 2, Beach. That's going to be a 10-yard mark-off from the previous spot because the foul happened behind the line of scrimmage.
We really need our defense to capitalize on this opportunity right here. I think getting Shiloh off the field right here, we've already kind of got the momentum from the big touchdown. Building off momentum in this state against a team that's this good is really what's going to ultimately help us win the game.
Yep, I agree with you. Van Buren's going to have to capitalize on any mistake that Shiloh makes tonight. And there's one that we need to take advantage of. First and 20 after the hold.
Trips to the left.
Man in motion, and he sets up at the H-back spot. And a pass out to number 3, Slider. And a nice tackle. And that's number 5, Brady Perkins.
Pretty good defense. Gave him a little bit of room, made the tackle, but they still got 2nd and about 13.
Creighton back to pass. Pressure comes from him. Good coverage by the secondary. And number 11, Chandler Kemp, able to haul that in. Pretty good coverage there by number 12, Landon Evans.
Yeah, really not bad coverage. I think the ball just got there a little bit quicker than he did.
3rd down and a long 5. Shiloh probably in 4-down territory here. Ball is spotted at Van Buren's 39. Trips receivers to this near side as Eldridge goes in motion. He lines up by Creighton. Creighton to pass. He's got a receiver. He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, this just guys beating our D-backs. I mean, there's really nothing more you can say about that. Because you can't put multiple dudes on them. I mean, we just can't get beat. Is more or less what that was.
Cole Creighton, as a sophomore, just looks very poised out there. He's able to sit back in the pocket and deliver a nice pass. 2-point conversion coming up for Shiloh. Pistol formation with Mason behind Creighton. And Creighton going to pass. And that 2-point conversion is good. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to play in the opening quarter. 22-7, Shiloh. Well, if you wanted to see offense, this was the night for it. Last week, when we went to Marion, the Patriots only scored 23 points the entire ball game. The Saints have already scored 22 with 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Well, Mark, I guess it's kind of what you were saying, though. I mean, last week we played an undisciplined team that, was really athletic. Don't get me wrong. Like, they were really athletic, really quick with it. This is just the difference between a team that's very well disciplined and does their assignments.
Number 2, Teray Wilford deep for Van Buren. He and Blaine Pruitt switch positions, and Pruitt going to get it. He's got a lane. And the back judge going to get Van Buren for either a hold or a block in the back. He threw that flag 30 yards. Had a pretty good look at it back there in the middle of the field. That will be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of that foul. That's going to be a hold. The Van Buren faithful getting fired up. They didn't like the call from their cheap seats spots. Said that official was 45 yards away, but they're 50 yards away, so I'm not sure.
Well, of course they're going to be right, so.
10-yard penalties marked off, and Van Buren will take over. 1st and 10 from the 20. No harm, no foul. Let's go move the ball. Phillip Steele, Austin Riggs, Elijah Johnson split to the near side with Cooley by himself to the far side. Tough snap handled by Wilford. Swing pass out to Keller. And Keller going to pick up a few before he's knocked out of bounds.
Minute 55 left to play in this game. Got about 2nd and 8.
Long snap count there by Wilford. He's going to throw one.
And just not real sure who that ball is intended for.
Keller was the short option there. Cooley was the longer option, and the two of them are trying to figure out who that was to as well. Not sure if that ball sailed on Wilford or what. That's 3rd down. Quad receivers to the far side. Keller joins 3 of the receivers. Wilford on a hot call. Cooley That's going to be close to a first down.
I want to say he's just a little bit short.
It's a great block by Ethan Hurst there to spring that.
I was just getting ready to say that, Mark. Ethan kind of worked his way out there and had a really good block on a guy to allow Kua to get at least close to the first down mark. And now we're going to have a cramp on the field, it looks like.
I don't know that may be the safety that Ethan blocked there. I don't know that is a cramp. That may be an injury. Number 0, Max Eldridge, down on the field. And Van Buren now going to have time to organize their punt team.
And Mark, I texted you last week about this, but Chris Elliott is a mad genius when it comes to forming special plays. So maybe giving us a little bit of time right here to form something could be pretty special.
I wish I could agree with you, except that where the ball is, I think we're just too deep in our territory to try anything interesting this early in the ball game. But I agree with you as far as the way his mind works when it comes to these plays. He's a lot of fun. Manning Dodson's punt team is out with number 5, Dalton Carnes, deep. And he is lined up just across midfield. There's a high snap, and it's handled by Manning Dotson just by his fingertips. An end-over-end kick that had some backspin on it. And it's going to be down at about the 46-yard line.
I mean, honestly, pretty good job by Manning Dotson to get rid of that ball. I mean, he had to do a complete 360 to get that ball back out. And a good job by Ethan Hurst, too, for stopping the ball where it was, because it was fixing to roll back about 10 yards.
Yeah, he got underneath that ball and had some backspin on it. It was going to definitely take a Saints roll. 1st and 10 for the Saints. Henley comes in motion, sets up in the H-back spot on the right side. The give to Mason. He's going to be drugged down by number 27.
Joshua Relaford. Pretty good tackle right there in the open field. Just being able to hold on to him and lock him down.
2nd down and 5. Creighton with the give to Mason, and a huge hole on this right side. That's going to be a first down.
Mark, with the hole that big, I would hope that me and you could run through that. That was just getting blown with the football right there off the line of scrimmage.
Well, and the tackle and maybe the tight end, maybe that H-back on this side really sealed our defensive end and linebacker, and it was just a path. Give to Mason, and that's a nice tackle there. Number 53, John Michael Fisher in on that. Along with others. 47 seconds to play in this opening quarter. The give to Mason around the left side. He's got a pulling guard in front of him, and he's going to get into the end zone. Number 54, Zach Weeks, was the pulling tackle there. Got in front of Mason, and an easy touchdown. The Saints line up to go for 2. Creighton with an empty backfield. And the pass to Mason. We talked about Mason's running statistics, but he's also caught 21 passes for 224 yards before this game started. So he's a dangerous weapon for the Saints, and he's only a junior. Let me say congratulations to our Fall Sports Award recipients. Ryan Sampson made All-State for the golf team. Kendall Bessie and Mackenzie Gillum for the tennis team. They were the 5A conference doubles champions and state qualifiers. In cross country, we had Abigail McCarty and Eli Adams make All-State. And our All-State dance team, Abigail Boster, made that. Congratulations to those Pointer athletes, those fall sports, and for those awards and recognitions. Good job. Williford back deep, but that ball is going to be fair caught by number 13, Philip Steele, at about the 29-yard line. I apologize for our clock, the bottom of our screen here. It's not reading the scoreboard. There's 28.9 seconds to play, 1st and 10. I don't know why it says there's 3 minutes to play and it's 10 and 1. I'll try to keep you updated. 28.9 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Van Buren, the give to Keller. Nice seal block there. That's Beck Bodson. Keller going to get around this. Well, he's actually going to lose a yard on that.
I mean, it's pretty well blocked up front, Mark. When you have guys that are coming from all over the field to make tackles, it's just kind of hard to get everybody blocked.
That will be the end of the first quarter. Van Buren trails this one 30-7. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back with you here in Springdale.
Van Buren, a place for building community for generations to come, for fostering the love of lifelong learning, for dedicated educators, shaping minds with care and expertise, a place for unleashing creativity and self-expression, cultivating curiosity and critical thinking, a place for those who want to rise to the top for their educational experience. Van Buren School District, a place for you.
Welcome back to Shiloh Christian up in Springdale, Arkansas, Champions Stadium, as the teams have huddled on the sideline and we're about to get going on second quarter.
We'll get you a little bit of scores from just around the state. Former Van Buren football coach Brock May and his BB Southside team are playing Heber Springs. They are currently down 14-19, and they are undefeated up until this point in the season.
Brock May, I texted him today and told him and Batesville Southside good luck. And he said the same to the Bird Dogs. He said that he's been following us all year, said he's been trying to keep up with Ethan. There's Cooley, the intended receiver there, and Williford just missed him.
Cooley had plenty of room right there to make a play and just kind of overthrown right there. Nothing more, nothing less than that.
Our buddy Walter Woody's up in the press box with us, and he just handed me a score. Benton up over Lake Hamilton in the second quarter, 21-7. We'll try to keep you posted on some of these scores from around the state. 2nd and 10. Williford with a blitz coming. He's going to escape over this right side and try to sneak one into Riggs, who just misses it.
That was a pretty good play by number 13 right there. I mean, you get a guy right there that ball hits hands. I mean, poor Austin Riggs right there because he's just open to get killed.
Manning Dotson on for the next punt. Fourth and 11. Dodson scoops that one. Nice tackle there, nice pursuit. I'm not sure who the first man downfield was, but Jace Ponder comes up from the bottom of that pile. Number 5, Brady Perkins in on that. Number 56, Antoine Cooper. Nice pursuit by the kick team.
Mark is on the punt team right there, and you see somebody and you're 5 yards from them, they haven't waved their hands yet. I mean, that should be just an all-out pass to absolutely put somebody in the hospital.
Pretty good coverage by the punt team. 1st and 10 for the Saints for their first possession of the second quarter. They give to Mason on this left side. And that's going to be a gain of about 7, maybe 8. My buddy Bill Dotson just texted and said that Greenwood is up 27-0 over El Dorado with 9 minutes before halftime. There's a pass out, and that's number 5, Dalton Carnes. Carnes stays on his feet after the tackle and close to the end zone. I believe he's inside the 5. Creighton with a touchdown pass.
I mean, just have another guy just kind of sitting right in the middle of the field with nobody on him.
Number 5, Dalton Carnes, had 2 big receptions on that possession, a long one, and then the short 5-yarder for the touchdown. Swinging gate formation, Creighton behind the snapper. Now he'll bring number 2 in motion. Backwards pass. They tried this earlier, and that's going to be no good. Number 2, Cohen Beach, received that backward pass and then threw the forward pass just a little bit too low. I think he had a receiver, just threw it at his feet. 36-7, Shiloh's up. 10 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the opening half.
I'll hit y'all with another score update from around the state. We're looking at the Elkins Elks now. That's Van Buren alumni and my former teammate Trent Ball. Elkins is 10-0 in the 1 seed out of that conference. They're down to Mena right now, 10-7. Wishing Trent good luck.
Van Buren's kick return team comes onto the field now as the Saints tee it up. That's number 6, Silas Nance. Nope, that's number 16, Josiah Campbell. He's going to pooch one up in the air that's going to be fielded short. I believe that's Blaine Pruitt. Pruitt going to get up close to the 35.
Mark, you want to know what I've noticed about Shiloh? I mean, up to this point in the game so far, I mean, they are absolutely flying around right there. I mean, it seemed like that kickoff team was there at our guy, I mean, very quickly. You kind of noticed it on their defense. I mean, their defense just kind of hopping around. They've kind of got that fire to them. And, I mean, it's evident they've had guys in the backfield all night long.
They were definitely ready to play football after having to sit out the first week of playoffs with the bye. They've looked good tonight. Van Buren, on the other hand, struggling to get a snap.
We said it earlier, but Johnny Seongsenfu, our sophomore snapper who's played probably over 20 games so far as a sophomore, out with injury this week, so we've had to turn to backup snapper
Jacob Omingabar. That was so Keller received that as a direct snap, and we're going to say that it was a plan, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say.
3rd down and 2 for Van Buren. Austin Riggs split to the near side, Cooley to the far side. And a 5-yard penalty by Van Buren.
Just not very good right there. You know, have pretty good play on offense right there and jump off sides. Just an absolute momentum killer.
3rd and 7. Williford's got time now. He's pressured. Going to have to roll. He's going to throw it up for...
Maybe you're faithful wanting a pass interference right there. However, the ball had hit in our hands.
4th down. Van Buren's offense going to stay on the field. Try something different. Trips receivers to this near side. Williford back to pass. He's got a roll. No. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Austin Riggs had a little bit of open field right there. It's just our quarterback just saw it a little bit too late. And
my buddy Josh Nichols just texted. Get this one, Jackson. The Pulaski Academy Bruins are playing at Fayetteville tonight and have the lead 11-10.
oh, wow.
Texted our buddy Coach Derek Davis, defensive coordinator at Fayetteville, before the game and told him good luck.
Fayetteville's just a long time. I mean, they've just been dominant state champions last year. And you think about Fayetteville, they just have the numbers up there. They're bound to have some guys that come and play for them.
Direct snap to Mason there. He's going to pick up some yardage on the far side, pick up about 6. Number 23, Gabe Hale on the tackle. Mason with the carry. He's going to pick up a 1st down as he drug several of the Pointer defenders with him for the final 3 yards of that game. Creighton has Carter Henley in the backfield with him. He's going to roll to the right behind Henley. Plenty of time. Now Creighton's going to have to run, and a nice tackle. I believe that's number 16, Blaine Pruitt. That's a good tackle. That's one of those where Pruitt has to decide, do I stay back with the receiver? Do I come get the quarterback? And he made the right decision. Mason, there's a hold. Boy, howdy. I think that hold will show up on film. Saw the jersey pull from up here. But a touchdown for the Saints.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if they're going to see that one after the game tonight. That was... Oh, well. On to the next.
PAT is good. 43-7. Shiloh Christian. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back to continue the second quarter. You're watching Van Buren Pointer football on Pointer Media.
Van Buren, a place for building community for generations to come, for fostering the love of lifelong learning, for dedicated educators, shaping minds with care and expertise. A place for unleashing creativity and self-expression, cultivating curiosity and critical thinking. A place for those who want to rise to the top for their educational experience. Van Buren School District, a place for you.
Welcome back to Springdale, Arkansas, Champions Stadium here at Shiloh Christian. Little pooch kick that's going to be fair caught. By number 80. Austin Stiles on the fair catch there. Van Buren offense will come out on the field. They're going to take over at the 32-yard line. Trips receivers to the near side. Johnson, Riggs, and Steele. Quick pass out to Riggs in the backfield, and he's going to be drugged down. Well, I noticed number 7, Elijah Johnson, really holding his shoulder. He's been battling a labrum issue, and I'm not sure what happened right there, but that's a tough kid, and he looks like he's hurt.
Man, you hate to see that because you know basketball season's right around the corners for the Pointers, and he's a big body on the floor for the Pointer basketball team.
Second down and 11. Williford looks to the sideline to get a play. He's got it now. Good pick up there on the block. The pass over the middle. That was number 18, Carter Kelly. That was the intended receiver. I think he had him, just overthrew him.
This Shiloh defense really flies around, Mark. I don't know how they fared against Greenwood and a team that's pretty dominant on the offensive side, but Greenwood's defense really does fly around, and they're quick to the ball.
Yeah, when Shiloh and Greenwood played, they played one of the first conference dates of the season, and it was a battle. There's a pass, Cooley, the intended receiver, and instead that's picked off, and it's a pick six. That's number 8 on the pick six, Will Anderson. There's a flag down at about the 24-yard line. What I was saying was the first time that when Greenwood and Shiloh played, Greenwood ended up winning 28-17. But it was a heck of a ball game. Van Buren going to benefit from the roughing the passer call, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down. So the roughing penalty negates the pick six, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, Van Buren really benefited from that right there, just because that was not a very good thrown pass. I mean, Cooley had a little bit of room right there, but it was just a complete miss of the target.
Twins receivers both sides. Steele and Kelly to the near side. Cooley and Riggs to the far side. Williford just off with his timing right now. And Van Buren and Shiloh going to mix it up a little bit on the field. That's your brother. and number 31 Hudson Ball. They've been going at it all night. Cooler heads prevail, and they'll get to lock up against each other on the next play. Second down and 10. The give to Keller, who's got a hole, and that's going to be a first down.
That's pretty good right there for us, Mark. I mean, our offensive line just fired off the ball, and Cameron got behind one of us, and, I mean, results in the first down.
A.J. Thompson and John Alexander on this right side of that offensive line. Nice hole. Keller hit it, picked up 10 yards. Here's that bunch quad receiver set. Cooley by himself up top, and that's where he's going. He's open. I didn't know that the ball was going to get there. Shiloh getting a little chippy here. There's a flag that comes in.
It's got to be a personal foul because you're right, that was cheap.
Well, I take that back. I could have swore I saw that official throw a flag. Maybe he was getting rid of a towel or something.
Maybe he was trying to decide if he wanted to throw a flag.
First and 10 for Van Buren. Quick pass out to Cooley. Boy, I tell you, the corner tried to jump that route and almost had an interception. Williford eyeballing Cooley there a little bit too long. Second and 10. Cooley split to the far side, Riggs to the near side. Alex Welburn in it tied in on the left side with Silvers behind him. 5 seconds on the play clock.
I would say it's very evident that we are missing our starting center right now. Just one of those things that hurts. Bad snaps just hurt.
Boy, you'd rather have it low than high. Low, you've got a chance to scoop, but that one was way high. Third down and a long way to get there. 5 seconds on the play clock. Empty backfield for Van Buren, and that's going to have to be a timeout. During this timeout, let me tell you about the volleyball team. We're talking about fall sports and the award recipients. The volleyball team had a ton of them. Aubrey McGee, she was All-State, All-Conference, and Co-Offensive Player of the Year. Aubrey's known is now the all-time kills leader in Van Buren history with 1,045 and counting. Avery Smith, she was All-State tourney team, All-State honorable mention, All-Star nominee, All-Conference, and Defensive Player of the Year. Avery is now second all-time in kills in Van Buren history. Aspen Cone, All-State honorable mention, All-Star nominee, All-Conference, and Co-Offensive Player of the Year. She had the state and Van Buren record with 54 assists in one match. Also second in the state, and Van Buren with 51 assists in a match. Danielle McCowan's All-Conference. She has the Van Buren record for blocks in a career and aces in a season. Nice job of the volleyball ladies there. Third down, another high snap. That's going to bring up fourth.
Mark, if I had to guess what the game of the week would be, I would have to say it's going to be Bentonville West versus Bentonville. Bentonville is the number 5 overall in the state, and B West is the number 22. Right now, the score is 14-13, Bentonville West in the second quarter.
Bentonville West was the 5 seed out of the West, and they went down to Little Rock Christian last week and beat them 38-22. Our buddy Jason Harris had that ball game. B West looking to make some noise in the playoffs. Manning Dotson on to punt. Good snap. And a good kick. Get down, ball. Keep going, ball. It's going to be fielded. Nice job there by the punt team. Number 19, Braden Dawes, knocks him out of bounds. Good pursuit by number 35, Jace Ponder. Nice job by Manning Dotson.
I'll get y'all with a little 6A update. Mountain Home playing Catholic. Mountain Home is up 21-7 in the second quarter.
Let's go Bombers. Got to go for those West Side teams. Go get them, Bombers. First and 10. The backup quarterback for Shiloh in there now. There's going to be a penalty. We'll bring that back. I mentioned the backup quarterback. It's number 15, Jake Bodenstein. But I tell you what, he's got pretty good numbers for a backup. The starting quarterback, Cole Creighton, was injured earlier in this season. And Bodenstein, a sophomore, before this game, he had thrown 82 passes for 829 yards and 6 touchdowns. The difference between he and Creighton is that Bodenstein's thrown 5 interceptions, and Creighton has yet to throw an interception this year. After the hold, it's going to bring up first and 20. Bodenstein's got a wide open receiver. Carnes got one man to beat. Number 5, Brady Perkins, drags him down, and there's a fumble. Pick it up and go score. Go, Darren Mays. What are we waiting on? Go score. Go. Oh my goodness gracious. There's a fumble on the field because there's a beanbag. What in the world has happened right here?
There was a
beanbag means that there's a fumble on the field.
Mark, I hate to say it, but I think there's an inadvertent whistle right there.
This is one where Coach Mo Henry has to demand an explanation.
Like, he does not need to come off the field until somebody gives him an answer.
No, you can't do that. He's going to get a sideline warning, but that's warranted. He needs this sideline warning. And now he needs the white hat, Steve Schrum, to come explain why the back judge had a beanbag after a ball was on the ground.
So they're calling him down?
Oh, wow. They didn't even give a sideline warning. They went straight to a 15-yarder. Wow.
That's...
I get what the white hat's saying. Coach Henry was out on the field. But after such a crazy play, a white hat's got to at least come over and give an explanation. Bodenstein back to pass. He's got a reception.
Well, now I'm really confused on how we didn't get the ball right there. I mean,
Well,
unless the guy was down, but
That's and I think that's what Coach Henry wants to know. Just give me an explanation. If you're saying he's down, that's fine. Say he's down, but why the beanbag? And maybe there was a whistle. We're far enough away with windows closed. I didn't hear a whistle, but that's fine. But the beanbag after the ball rolling around the ground means that there is a fumble.
correct.
So this crew will have some
they will have somebody
things
come
to
talk
figure
him.
out. Yeah. That's a touchdown nonetheless. There's a bad snap, and somehow Shiloh's still going to get that off. Here's a few more scores from our buddy Josh Nichols. Fayetteville up 17-11 with 5 minutes before halftime. Greenwood's up 41-0. Bryant over Cabot, 45-0. See what our buddy Brock May's doing with Southside Batesville. Batesville Southside's 11-0. That's our buddy Brock May, and they were playing Heber Springs tonight.
They were down early, but now they are up 28-21 in the second quarter.
There you go. Pulling for our buddy Brock May up there.
We also talked about it earlier. Former pointer Trent Ball and his Elkins Elks, they were down to Mena in the first quarter, but now they are up 21-10. El Dorado and Greenwood. Greenwood's up on El Dorado 41-0 in the second. And Lake Hamilton Benton. Benton up on Lake Hamilton 34-7.
Kickoff, fair catch called for.
Ooh. All right. A little bit of smoke job by number 18 right there.
I think we're going to have to, these officials are going to have to get a hold of this game. There's been a little bit too much extracurricular. Did you see that one right there?
Yeah.
And I didn't see an official come and say anything to anybody. So, well, they need to keep their eyes open here. Pressure coming from Shiloh. There's the give and just nowhere to go. Second down. Silver's in motion. He sets up on this right side at the H-back position. Wilford going to sprint to the right and throw to Keller. Keller going to be brought down. That's a nice tackle after the catch by Keller there.
Man, here comes Shiloh's dudes off the sideline. That's one of those things that's making Shiloh so dominant right now. There's the ability to rotate guys in and out, and keeping guys fresh. I mean, when you have a team that can do that, I mean, you're probably going to be pretty good in the long run.
That's impressive to see the number of kids that they have on the sideline. Shiloh Christian only has about 300 students in their high school compared to Van Buren's 1,200, but a lot of them athletes and a lot of them on the sideline. Williford going to run. He's going to slide down and going to be about 3 yards short. That's going to be fourth down. Van Buren's offense going to stay out there. Fourth down and a couple.
Just not getting the ball there.
(49-7), 5 minutes, 18 seconds to play in the opening half. Van Buren may not have enough people on the field here. Number 81, Charlie Vaughn, comes on late. Bodenstein back to throw. He's got a receiver.
It is 55-7, and most of all their touchdowns have come on something like that. Just getting absolutely beaten off the ball, not being aggressive enough to, I mean, at least give a kind of press somebody up. Just getting beat. Absolutely just getting beat.
PAT attempt is good. And with 4 minutes, 46 seconds to play in the opening half, Shiloh up 56-7. Basketball season is upon us. The Lady Pointers start their season 3-0. They picked up 2 wins this week over Rogers Heritage, 60-33, and Shiloh Christian, 51-30. In that Heritage game, A.J. McDonald led all scorers with 19 points. Aspen Cone and Jaden Warden had 11 apiece. Versus Shiloh on Tuesday, A.J. again had 19 points with 9 rebounds, and Aspen, 5 for 6 from behind the three-point arc, had 17 points, 3 steals. J.C. Odom had 9 points and 7 rebounds. The Lady Pointers are going to play Little Rock Christian today. They played today at 5 o'clock. I'm not sure what the outcome of that one was.
Back to receive for the Pointers, number 2,
Teray Wilford deep for Van Buren. Shiloh has been going to the shorter receiver, and that's who gets it here, Blaine Pruitt. Pruitt's got a lane. He makes a man miss, and he's going to get past the 50-yard line. Nice return, Blaine Pruitt.
That's great.
And Van Buren will have great field position on this next drive, beginning in the Saints territory. Van Buren's offense huddles on the sideline. He gets some last-minute instruction from offensive coordinator Tyler Van Hook. Eight seconds to play on the play clock. 4 seconds. Snap it. Oh, he just does. Wilford back to throw. He's got time this time, and he's just going to loft that up. That's just.
They have a guy down.
pass intended for number 0, Trent Cooley.
Shiloh has a man down on the field. It's number 51, Mikey McIntyre. 6'1", 248-pound sophomore. Talk a little bit more about some basketball. The junior high basketball team, the freshman Pointers, won the India Lewis Classic last week up in Siloam Springs. They defeated Rogers in the semifinals 50-46 on Friday night. And then they beat Southwest in the finals on Saturday 58-35. The freshman Lady Pointers won the consolation bracket of that same tournament. They defeated Heritage 40-25, and they beat Stillwell 32-29. Both teams played Rogers Heritage on Monday and won. The Pointers won 47-29, and Lady Pointers won 26-13.
All right.
That junior high, that 9th grade freshman boys team is going to be fun to watch. I believe they continue an undefeated streak from last year.
Well, and even the 9th grade team, but I know the Northridge team, the Northridge 8th grade team last year went undefeated, and I'm pretty sure they were undefeated their 7th grade year.
Yeah.
They've got a pretty talented group of kids, and I mean, I know their starting 5 are really good, but I think the next 5 on their bench are also pretty dang good.
Right. Yeah, that's a talented bunch. That's that same talented bunch that Corey Chambers, the football coach for the 9th grade, said it's one of the most talented bunches he's seen. That's the end of the first half. Van Buren will have the AAA sportsmanship rule invoked when this third quarter starts. 56-7 is the end of the first half. Enjoy halftime. We will be back in 20 minutes. You're watching Van Buren Pointer football on Pointer Media.
your favorite Disney tunes, including Disney magical marches and Star Wars. The band is directed by Stephen Hunt with assistant director Chris Zimmer. The color guard coach is Chloe Riggins, and the drumline coach is Steve Abacall. For drum major Danny Rivas. This season the band was a finalist at the War Eagle Marching Invitational. Earned superior ratings from all judges at Region Marching Assessment and placed 8th at State Marching Contest. The band is proud to be sponsored by Certipro Painters of Northwest Arkansas. For those in the stadium, I need to inform you that for the next 2 performances, the lights will be turned off. While the performance is going on, the lights will be turned off for the next 2 performances.
Welcome back to Springdale, Arkansas and Champion Stadium at Shiloh Christian. As about a minute left for the teams to warm up. Shiloh with a 56-7 halftime lead. The AAA sportsmanship rule will run the clock this second half, so Van Buren will get on the road quick. We mentioned this earlier and want to say something about it again. Number 32, Cameron Keller, has become the all-time leading rusher for Van Buren. He surpassed my running back, number 32 as well, Howard Simmons. Howard held the record for the past 30-plus years. And Cameron Keller comes in and takes his place. It's funny, I was talking to Howard this week, and I asked him, because I don't remember when Howard broke the record. He broke Mark Douglas's record when we graduated in the 91 season. And I texted Howard, and I said, hey, man, do you remember breaking that record? Was that made a big deal? And he called me and he said, he said things were just different back then. He said, yeah, I remember getting some awards, and I even did a couple of radio interviews with Alan Foleyart. He said, but individual awards just weren't that big of a deal back then. We just wanted to make our coaches proud and win football games. And so number 32, Howard Simmons, he was a good one. Cameron Keller has taken his place as the leading rusher for the Van Buren Pointers. That kickoff is taken by number 16, Blaine Pruitt, I believe. Van Buren's offense will take over. 1st and 10 from about the 30. When I was talking to Howard, he was very gracious and mentioned several other good running backs. Johnny Parker, Steve Scott, his brother Eddie Tipton, Matt Sagely. Matt Sagely was the running back our sophomore year, and so Howard didn't play much our sophomore year. Got most of his yards junior and senior year. Howard was a good one. Still a good one. Great guy.
Shiloh Christian about to bring the house right here.
Interesting defensive formation there by Shiloh. It's effective. Gain of a couple there by Keller. Austin Riggs split to this near side. Alex Welburn now shifts over and will be the tight end on this near side. Silvers and Bodson at the H-back position. Give to Keller. Keller going to pick up a couple. Going to bring up 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7.
Elijah Johnson and Austin Riggs come onto the field. We got trips out to our right.
Good to see Elijah back in the ball game. He left earlier holding his shoulder. He's been nursing a shoulder injury. Williford back to pass. He's going to run now. He's going to dump one over. He's got Kelly. And Carter Kelly for the first down.
It's a good job by our quarterback right there to kind of escape the pressure right there and just kind of stay calm enough to find somebody open down the field.
Van Buren moves the chains. They'll have twins receivers to both sides. Williford, the give to Keller. Keller going to power his way behind number 65, Kyron Johnson.
It's a good block by Ethan Hurst right there, just kind of pushing his guy downfield and allowing Keller to kind of run off his back as well.
2nd down and 3. Steele and Johnson The receivers on this near side. Pass out to Riggs. Kelly with a nice block. Riggs gets past the first down marker, and that's a nice pickup.
It's a good move by Austin Riggs right there in open field. Had a decent block out there on a corner, and he really just had one guy to make miss right there, and he did it.
Twins receivers both sides.
Ooh.
Passes away and caught by Riggs. Riggs is going to make a move. And another first down. I'll tell you what, I don't see, Jackson. Check me if I'm wrong, but I don't see Trenton Cooley on the field.
No, I believe you're right.
Kelly and Johnson come off as Alex Welburn checks in, tied in next to Ethan Hurst. Silver's behind him in the H-back position. They give to Keller over that left side. He's met by a linebacker after he picks up a couple. Second down and 8. Steele and Riggs split wide, one to each side. The fake and the pass to Philip Steele. Touchdown, Van Buren. Number 13, Philip Steele.
Good pass by Hayden Wilford right there. Just had a little bit of time to kind of sit there in the pocket and just kind of relax. And, I mean, just found the open guy. I don't know if that's just because we're down by a significant amount right there and he just kind of calmed down a little bit. But, I mean, that was a good job by going through his reads right there.
I agree with you. He looked calm there. PAT is good. Manning Dotson. I see Trenton Cooley, so we need to keep an eye on him, see if he's okay. Cooley caught a pass tonight, I know, and so with that pass that he caught earlier, he passed Malachi Henry 28 consecutive games with a reception. He is now the leader. Malachi had 27 games with a reception, and now Trenton Cooley takes his place at the top of that record.
An impressive stat to hold, young man. Congratulations.
Hope Trenton's okay. He and Elijah Johnson will be playing on the Pointer basketball team when that time comes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Coach Autry would not really like that if Trenton got hurt. A big playmaker for us last year, and I'm sure that Coach Autry's ready for him to get back out there with the boys.
Derek Kelly has it teed up. That ball is muffed and then picked up, and good coverage, just can't tackle. Number 31, I believe, that's Ian Rowe.
That's a good job by Ian Rowe right there, but that should not have been the case at all. I mean, you met somebody back there at the 5-yard line, just not being able to wrap up and finish the job.
Great coverage, covered the field great. Couldn't tackle. First and 10 for the Saints. See who they've got at quarterback. I believe that's Bodenstein. He hands off up the middle, runs into Big Alex Welburn. Big Alex, he's a 3-year starter up front for defense for Van Buren. Noticed he had his mohawk dyed green tonight.
Gotta love the Pointer pride.
Bodenstein rolls to his left.
Good defense.
Nice defense. Number 38, Donovan Akins.
Yeah, Mark, you're absolutely right. I mean, you just ran with the guy standing on his hip, put a hand up where the ball was supposed to be, and it was there. Good deflection.
Third down and 8. Five seconds to snap it. They get it off. Bodenstein's under pressure. Alex Welburn. That's a sack. The Green Mohawk with the sack.
Good job by the defense right there, bringing out the punt team for Shiloh.
I think that's the first time we've seen their punt team tonight.
I think you're right, Mark. It's not really a good sign when it's the third quarter and it's the first time you've seen the punt team.
Van Buren not going to put anyone back deep. Number 3, Talon Jones, is the deepest. He's in the safety position. He'll start to sneak backwards a tad. There's a little short kick. It's going to take a shallow roll and going to be downed at about the 43-yard line. The Van Buren defense with a hold after the sack by big number 99, Alex Welburn. He gets a hug by defensive line coach Chris Elliott.
Mark, it looks like we got a new center in the game right now. Number, can't tell, 69.
That's
Snapping the
A.J.
ball.
Thompson. So they scoot him over. He and Aminga Bar may have swapped spots. Quick pass out to Kelly. I believe that was Kelly.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jackson. A.J. Thompson and Jacob Amingabar have switched positions on the offensive line. Second 10, the give to Keller. Keller over the left side. He's got room. He's down to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Van Buren. Cameron Keller runs over that left side behind Kyron Johnson and Ethan Hurst. Nice run there. Cameron Keller adds to his stats.
Yeah, Mark, you're absolutely right. I mean, there was just a big old hole. Our left tackle and our left guard just sealed off that side, and all Karen had to do was just, outrun everybody just like he did.
Cameron Keller heading to the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs next year. Good snap by Ethan Hurst. The hold by Riggs. The PAT good by Manning Dodson. It's almost wrestling season. Wrestling team had their green-white scrimmages last night. A lot of the kids during that green-white scrimmage are vying for position, challenging each other to see who is going to wrestle at which weight class. Had a chili supper. Parents cooked chili and served chili meal to the parents and fans that came to watch that. And it was a packed house. Had that at the 9th grade academy last night, and standing room only. The Van Buren wrestling team goes for their 4th in a row state championship. That'll start this weekend. Lady Pointers compete tomorrow in Springdale Harbor into wrestling invitation, and I believe the JV Pointers wrestle tomorrow as well. So both Petrie brothers, the coaches, are ready for wrestling season. Coach John Petrie said he is ready for these football wrestlers to get there. Ethan Hurst and Brian Ramos and Caden Webb, amongst others. And there's a silly penalty by number 48, Aiden Laxton. I'm not real sure why we have to have one of those. That's going to be a personal foul.
You know, Mark, you know what that is? That is just losing a little bit of cool because we're down a little bit too much.
So after the 15-yard mark off, the Saints will have it at the 35. Bodenstein to throw. He's got a receiver. Silas Nance on the reception there. He's forced out of bounds by number 12, Landon Evans. The give. Goodness gracious.
Good job right there by Gabe Hill to push him out of bounds.
Bodenstein to throw. Oh! Nice play there by number 31, Ian Rowe.
That's what I'm talking about. Meeting somebody where the ball's fixing to be, causing a disruption. That's a football play.
Griffin Harvey in the backfield with Bodenstein. He gets the handoff. He's going to get a couple yards before he's tackled by number 12, Landon Evans.
On the carry, number 22, Griffin Harvey. On the stop for the Pointers, number 12, Landon Evans. It's third down.
Minute and a half to play in this third quarter. This AAA sportsmanship rule shortened third quarter. 3rd and 7. Pressure. Just over the intended receiver's hands.
Man, we had a lot of pressure out there coming. Shiloh's quarterback better be glad their running back picked up our blitz off the edge because he was about to get destroyed from the backside.
4th down, and Shiloh looks to go. Ball is spotted just inside the 20-yard line. Ten seconds to snap. Bodenstein rolls to his left. And that's a first down.
Not terrible defense on it. Just they got a little bit too much room to where he could get his toes in bounds for the first down.
Spearstone will close here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. If you'd like to get down there and get you one of these limited edition.
And that's going to be the quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter. Shiloh up 56-21. We'll take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back to Champion Stadium. You're watching Van Buren Pointer football on Pointer Media.
Van Buren, a place for building community for generations to come, for fostering the love of lifelong learning, for dedicated educators, shaping minds with care and expertise. A place for unleashing creativity and self-expression, cultivating curiosity and critical thinking. A place for those who want to rise to the top for their educational experience. Van Buren School District, a place for you.
Welcome back to Shiloh Christian up in Springdale, Arkansas. The fourth quarter of this second-round playoff game just about to get underway. Shiloh knocking on the door to the end zone. 1st and 10. Bodenstein to throw. Had a receiver who had 6, and he just dropped it. Second and 10. The give. That's Harvey, and he's tackled by a host of pointers. Darren Mays in on that tackle, along with number 70, Nate Silva.
Got about 3rd and 8.
The give to Harvey, and he's close. Going to be a 1st and goal at about the 2, maybe the 1.
It's really close, whatever it is.
Tempo here by the Saints. The give to Harvey. 2nd down.
It's a good defensive stop right there by our defense right there on the goal line.
We've got a bad angle on this. Are they on the 1? That looks like where the line judge is lined up on the 1-yard line. Bodenstein to throw. That's a touchdown.
That was honestly a really good route right there, Mark. I mean, the receiver right there really faked the inside slant, and he really just hit him with a good swizz route right there. Kind of cut it in, cut back out.
I'll tell you this, Jackson and I had walked across to the concession stand at halftime. We mentioned it. Shiloh Christian likes to turn the lights off more than any stadium I have ever seen. They'll turn it off after they score. The halftime performance was done in the dark. Cheerleaders or dancers had black light T-shirts glowing. And
they're just trying to save a little bit of electricity is all they're trying to do.
Interesting effects. They're good at it.
Well, everybody, I'd give y'all some scores for around the 6A, but, I mean, it's literally the 1s and the 2s are dominating everybody except for Catholic and Mountain Home, where Mountain Home is still up on Little Rock Catholic 21-14 in the 3rd quarter.
Represent the West, Bombers.
Talked about Pulaski Academy and Fayetteville earlier. Pulaski Academy is still up on Fayetteville 18-17 in the 3rd quarter. That one's probably going down to the wire, knowing Fayetteville and PA, and just, PA is one of those teams that has that funky rule with the onside kick and go for it every 4th down and never punt. And so it's just kind of hard to defend. The statistics don't lie on that one. It's just Fayetteville's got their work cut out for them the rest of the way.
How interesting is it, though, for Pulaski Academy? They've been so good for so long, and now they move up into the 7A and are still so good.
Mark, you want let's talk about it. I've been with you a couple of times when you've refereed over there, and, Coach Lucas is an awesome and phenomenal guy, former Razorback. I think it's just got to come down to how well disciplined they are. You want to talk about a team that is very well disciplined. They do their assignments, do what they're told. That has to translate. I'm sure that being a private school and having some athletes transfer in also probably plays a role into it, but I also think that the coaching and the discipline goes a long way as well.
I think both of those are the reason that teams like Pulaski Academy and Shiloh Christian are as successful as they are. When you're paying $12,000 to go to school at Shiloh, $19,000 to go to school at Pulaski Academy. Private school, you can get whoever you want. You can go recruit those players. And that gives them a big advantage, and that's why the AAA's put in this competitive equity rule that says, if they make it to the playoffs and then to the championship game and then win games, so many years in a row, it bumps you up. And you see schools that have a third of the student population, like Shiloh does of Van Buren, and be this competitive. It makes a difference. But you're right. There's a nice catch by Elijah Johnson. We certainly don't want to take anything away from head coach Tucker Bernard here at Shiloh, head coach Anthony Lucas down at PA. The kids are definitely athletes. We can't fault them for being good athletes at private schools, but definitely an advantage there. And the AAA understands that.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's why they've added that equity rule. 3rd down and 2 for Van Buren. There's a pass out to Riggs. Riggs going to pick up a 1st down. Notice number 28, Hayden Christensen, in at running back for Van Buren. He's going to be a good one. He's a freshman, 5'11", 188 pounds. And good-looking kid.
Got a few touches last week. I'm pretty sure he picked up a pretty big 1st down for us last week. I mean, that's anytime you get a freshman running back to come out after their season and, immediately start getting playing time is really big. Oh,
there
he goes. And he runs over somebody.
And we noticed that last week. Hayden even mentioned that. Christensen's not afraid to hit somebody, lowers his shoulder, and has a nice gain there. Hayden Christensen's a name we're going to mention for years to come for Van Buren.
And I'm just looking at him right now from the press box. His arms look good. He just looks like a good, well-built kid.
Christenberry. I think I called him Christensen.
I think I did too because I was copying you.
Well, it's
Sorry,
dark up
man.
here. I couldn't read the roster. Christenberry, Hayden Christenberry. Wilford back to pass. He steps into this one. Elijah Johnson. Elijah Johnson so close to the goal line. The senior, hurt shoulder and all, hauls that in and gets down to about the 2-yard line.
Mark, I've said it for 3 years now. I love Elijah Johnson. I just think he's a good-looking kid. He's a big body out there, and it's really gonna not go in the Pointers' favor next year whenever he goes away.
You said it, Jackson. It's not just Elijah Johnson, but the Van Buren Pointers are going to miss this senior class next year. A lot of good players, a lot of players that have played 2 and even 3 years now for the Pointers. Christenberry in the backfield with Williford. The give to him. Push him, tush push. And that's a touchdown. Number 28, Hayden Christenberry, the freshman, with 6 points.
Yeah, I'm glad the freshman got in right there, but, I think he'll go back and look at that and realize that if he would have just put his head down, I think he would have walked in with no problem. That's just one of those things that you learn as a young guy growing up. Good run, young man.
Manning Dotson on for the PAT. The umpire misspot the ball, so he gets it in the correct spot, and we'll start this again here. Good snap, good hold. Manning Dotson. 5 minutes, 48 seconds to play in this one. Van Buren down 28-63. Let's talk about some of these seniors that are playing their last game as Van Buren Pointers, something that they will Never forget. I'll never forget the last ball game I played. Do you remember your last game, Jackson?
Oh, I absolutely do. We were down at Little Rock Catholic. We had made it to state playoffs and had a pretty good chance of winning it. I mean, we went down and going into halftime, I think we were up 3 or 4 scores, and it was just that year Little Rock Catholic had been notorious for coming back on people, and they ended up coming back on us. I remember Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry's been a big inspiration in my life. He's just been a big role model for me. He's poured a lot into me over the years. I just remember walking up to him after the game and just kind of putting my head in his shoulder and crying a little bit. Never forget the time being a Pointer. It's something I'm proud to say of every day.
I can say the same thing for the last game I played. It was a playoff game. We made the playoffs my senior year by beating Northside on a goal line stand, went down to Cabot, and got absolutely killed. That's all I really remember about the ball game, other than at the end when Coach Autry pulled the seniors out, coming over to the sideline and just getting a big hug from my head coach. Never forget that. That's what football's about. It's about these relationships. You want to win every game you play, but the relationships that you build, the way that these coaches pour into kids, some of my role models, some of my mentors were my coaches growing up, and it really mean a lot to us.
And you always hear, as you're kind of growing up, people tell you to play sports and stuff just because of the life lessons that it teaches you. And I mean, I would have to wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, just think about like all the people that didn't get to play, but think about all the life lessons they learned. I just think playing sports, and especially playing football, just makes you a better man in the long run.
The Saints come out for another possession, just under 5 minutes to play. Let's talk about some of these seniors that are playing their last game. Of course, we'll mention your brother first, Ethan Hurst. It's sure been a pleasure to sit up here and call his ball games, and he's been a 3-year starter and just done a great job. Works hard, gets in the gym early in the mornings, and very proud of him. Alex Welburn's another one. He's a 3-year starter out there. Played both sides of the ball this year. Caught a touchdown pass last year, if you remember that. Cameron Keller obviously set the record, most rushes. Trenton Cooley, again, in the record books. Trenton Cooley, possibly one of the best athletes to come through Van Buren. And there's been a bunch of good ones. I think about people like Ian Rowe, who comes out for his senior season to play, and Ian had a great ball game last week. John Alexander, he's a senior. He plays on the offensive line, played on the defensive line last year, and needed him to move over, and he's filled a role there at right tackle. Bodenstein rolls to his left. John Michael Fisher, number 53, he's one of the team captains. He's been the leader on defense. Coach Mo Henry calls him kind of the brains of the operation out there on the field. He's been a good one. Number 12, Landon Evans, 2-year starter.
You got to mention number 7, Elijah Johnson. I've talked to Ethan multiple times just about him and just the role model that he is, just as a team leader. Not only on the field, but kind of in the locker room as well. I know Ethan said that he's led multiple discipleships with the team, and that's just one of those good things about him.
Probably say the same thing about Brady Perkins, number 5 out there. He's on the field right there. He comes off the field right in front of us. Brady Perkins basically led the FCA rally this year, giving his testimony.
A.J. Martin, senior, came out this year and honestly made a pretty big impact, for our team. I know he made a lot of big plays in the Alma game this year. I know he's just kind of made I know he's tackled a bunch of people behind the line this year.
We called A.J.'s name a lot last week, as a matter of fact. Great senior class. They are going to be missed next year. A lot of them out of the game as some substitutes coming in now. 2 minutes to play in this one. So next week, Shiloh Christian will go play the winner of Benton and Lake Hamilton, and I believe last I heard Benton was taking care of business in that one. Brad Harris's Benton team, they're always so well coached. That'll be a good ball game, Benton and Shiloh Christian. There's a pass out to Elijah Johnson. You know, we mentioned those seniors, and we're going to miss them, but we've got a bunch of juniors, sophomores that have gotten some playing time this year that are, it's really going to be beneficial to the Pointers next year. Austin Riggs and, of course, Williford, a quarterback. It's one of those things where you almost hate to have to use a sophomore as a quarterback, but once it's done, gosh, look at the experience that you've gotten that kid for next year. He's grown up a lot this year. Offensive line's going to have several returners. There's Austin Riggs. Austin Riggs makes a move. He's off to the races. Austin Riggs. One man to beat. That's a touchdown, Van Buren. And a late hit afterwards. Number 10, Austin Riggs, almost on cue as we were talking about the impact players that would come back next year. That's a big one. PAT team on. So after that touchdown, a personal foul. And that ball will be moved half the distance. Manning Dotson. And the kick is good. 37.9 seconds left to play in this one. Van Buren cuts the lead. 63-35.
37.9 seconds left to play in the game. Looks like Shiloh Christian will go on to play Benton next week down at Benton, as Benton is the 1 seed from that side.
We got 10 out there. Okay, we're good.
One kickoff really is all we need. We'll get the teams on the field. We'll get that ball in the air, and clock will start, and that will be it. Let me just take this opportunity to thank you guys and gals for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed this for the past 3 years, and it's been great to have my son Jackson and other son Hayden, Ethan McKenzie, Josh Nichols along with me, and appreciate their help. They make it a whole lot more fun than being up here by myself. I also want to say thanks to the coaching staff who's had to be in the same booth with our loud mouths tonight, and so we appreciate them being up here with us.
Mark, it's been an honor, and I've loved doing every second of it. Don't know what the future holds for us next year, but I know you miss being out on the field officiating, but I know that the fans back home would say that they appreciate everything you've done for us for the past 3 years.
It has been enjoyable. "20 seconds. I don't believe Shiloh will even bring the offense out. There's no need in it. The clock continues to wind. And that's going to be it. Final score 63-35. And the teams meet At midfield, good luck to the Saints next week as they take on the Benton Panthers. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have as well. For Jackson Hurst, this is Mark Hurst. We've enjoyed having you. You've been watching Van Buren Pointer football on Pointer Media.